Breaking news, the New York Knicks are acquiring Karl Anthony-Towns in a blockbuster trade, sending him to the Big Apple in exchange for Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo. We're going to break it all down here on NZ for 3. I'm going to give my reaction, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get right into it. First off, I am really confused with what the Timberwolves are trying to go for by making this trade. They are one of the most expensive teams in the league, and by offloading KAT's contract for some more team-friendly deals, I do suppose that makes sense, but the fit between Randle and Rudy Gobert is absolutely atrocious in my opinion. Julius Randle is one of the streakiest shooters I have ever seen, is going to clog the paint if he is not shooting well. He's coming off one of the worst shooting seasons of his career, and Gobert has no perimeter presence whatsoever. They do have Donte DiVincenzo now, however, and he is one of the best shooters in the league, so we'll see how the Timberwolves pan out this year. Everyone was criticizing them for the Gobert trade in the first place, but at least the motive there was that you also had Karl Anthony-Towns, who was an excellent floor spacer, and although the Timberwolves were going through some rough patches, some difficult times, they did end up making the conference finals last season and are coming off a really successful year with Anthony Edwards leading the charge. So we'll see how the Timberwolves shape up this year. But yeah, I'm just not a big fan of that Randle and Gobert pairing, to be completely honest. And I'm not going to sugarcoat things with the Knicks and what they got in return. Karl Anthony-Towns is an absolute seamless fit with this team, and bringing him in is precisely what the Knicks have needed for so long now. Another star-level player to help complement Jalen Brunson, and a stretch big that can reliably space the floor and hoist three-pointers. I always just thought that Julius Randle was way too much of a hothead that just chucked shots and really shot your team out of the game. I mean, he did help the Knicks make the playoffs for the first time in a while now, but I just always thought that they needed to move on from him if they really wanted to elevate to true contender status. I never really took him seriously as a legitimate second option. But Karl Anthony-Towns, on the other hand, he is everything. He does everything that Randle does not do well, and that is reliably shoot the ball and he just has so much more of an versatile offensive game. And yeah, just looking at this starting lineup for the Knicks, you got Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and OG Anunoby. That is a extremely talented and versatile starting lineup that is, I'm not going to lie, is really, really good. Like, I don't like saying this, but the Knicks have definitely shook up the roster in the best way possible for what their team has needed for a while now. Just some extra punch, some extra versatility that is really going to make them one of the best teams in the league. Just taking a look at their depth chart, you also got Miles McBride and Precious Achiuwa, Mitchell Robinson, and Cameron Payne. So that front court that the Knicks have is now solidified. They replaced Isaiah Hartenstein essentially with Karl Anthony-Towns, and Hartenstein is a really, physical, gritty, defensive, big that can really grab a lot of rebounds. But KAT is just obviously a much-needed upgrade in that position. And Mitchell Robinson has given Joel Embiid problems in the past, so having him as a backup center is huge. But my main concern with the Knicks here in this deal, in that although they have made the right decision in going all in with Karl Anthony-Towns, adding that extra star power, similar to what the Sixers have done. I mean, I'm not going to lie, the Knicks are really lining themselves up to be in a similar situation to the Sixers. The Sixers, they brought in Paul George. It was a really big deal, but they had to do it because they have a championship window that they need to maximize and that they need to take advantage of. Joel Embiid is not getting any younger, and Jalen Brunson is just entering his prime, but he is giving the Knicks some of the best years of his career and is probably only going to get better now that he has more experience being the first option on a playoff team. So yeah, going for KAT was the right decision, but it's the same thing with the Sixers. And if, health is permitting, because now that they have KAT, who in his own right, he has been healthier these last couple of seasons, but has been known to be really injury prone. You have KAT, who is a bit injury prone. You have OG Anunoby, who is really injury prone. And now you have Mitchell Robinson, who's actually going to miss the first couple of months of the 2025 NBA season. So they still have a hole at the backup center position. Precious Achiuwa, he's really aggressive, a really gritty, just an absolute dog. But is he too small to fill in that backup center role? Who knows how that works out for them? But financially, the Knicks are definitely taking a risk with all the players that they have who are prone to injury. But they do have a pretty solid bench as well. You got Cameron Payne, who was excellent for the Sixers last year. Marcus Morris Sr., who did provide some solid minutes. You also got Landry Shamet and Deuce McBride, who was absolutely cooking the Sixers last year. So yeah, the Knicks are looking really deep. Fred Katz puts it really well here. After the Cat trade, the Knicks' top 7 players, who are all under contract for next season, combined to make $189 million in 2025-26. Though those 7 alone place the Knicks in the luxury tax, this team is about to get seriously expensive. For those who forgot, they signed OG Anunoby to a $212 million deal with a $48 million player option for 2029. So that in of itself is a risk. I think they had to bring back OG because he's just such an impactful player with how special he is on the defensive side of the floor, as well as the excellent floor spacing that he can provide. But with the injuries that he has stacked up throughout his career, and the way Tom Tibbs tends to overplay his starters, runs them into the ground. The common phrase with him is that if you're not dead, you're playing. We've definitely seen the Knicks break down throughout their playoff run last year and just completely collapse against the Pacers. But you got OG to that big contract, but you also got Karl Anthony-Towns, who is owed $49 million this season and is making $170 million through 2028. Also has a huge player option attached to his contract at the end of that deal. So yeah, the Knicks, they're lining themselves similar up to what the Sixers are trying to do here. They're going all in. They played all their cards. That team-friendly deal that Jalen Brunson gave them, him signing for less money for what he's actually worth, so they can make a move like this. Yeah, I mean, the Knicks, they're definitely taking a risk here. It's a high-risk, high-reward scenario that the Sixers are also going to have to go through as well, because Paul George and Joel Embiid are injury-prone as well. So hopefully Lady Luck smiles upon the Sixers. But yeah, the Knicks, I think they made the right move here. You need to maximize your championship window. It's very rare that you have opportunities to really, truly compete in the NBA with how talented all these other teams are and how they're always looking to improve. You need to take every opportunity you can get to, maximize that window. But yeah, so, I mean, those are just my thoughts. I do think the Knicks did get better with this deal. Regarding how they can really stack up against the Sixers, I think Joel Embiid has historically dominated Karl Anthony-Towns, and if Embiid is fully 100% healthy coming into the playoffs, that's definitely going to be a problem that the Knicks are going to have to consider, especially, regarding Mitchell Robinson's health. Robinson, he's an excellent defensive big, but he is really unreliable when it comes to being injured, and, it might be ironic coming from a Sixers fan, but, with how the Knicks are oriented, if one of those guys go down, whether it's OG or Mitchell Robinson or even Cat himself, that is going to leave a big hole for the Knicks, just like how if Joel Embiid especially and Paul George, if they end up being hobbled and missing a bunch of games and are not 100% going into the postseason, that is going to seriously impact their ability to make a deep playoff run. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Do you believe that the New York Knicks should be taken even more seriously now that they have added Cat to their core? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.